Okay, hello everyone. Welcome back to the Stahls UK Friday lunchtime live. It's been a couple of weeks since we've gone live, but we are back this week and we're talking about levers 2025. So for those of you that are printing levers this year, this is going to be a great one for you to learn about the different styles and trends that you need to be aware of and different methods you can print in order to secure more customers and make sure you're catering for all of the different students. And if you're not printing levers, but you own a heat press, you definitely need to be doing this as well, because there is a massive profit opportunity for anybody that has a heat press in their home, in their workshop, in their studio. And yeah, it's a really, really lucrative market. So we're going to get into all of that today. For those of you that are new and maybe haven't joined us on a Friday lunchtime live before, we are Stahls UK. We are the leading heat print supplier for the UK. Of course, we've got offices all over the world, so we cover globally as well. And our mission is basically just to help you guys run successful print businesses, to be the best printers you can be, to be the best decorators you can be, and produce high quality, long lasting premium products that are going to help grow your business and help customers come back to you. So as always, with these lives, if you have got any questions throughout, drop them in the comments. I've got Beth with me behind the camera today again.
Hello, hello.
So any questions, drop them in the comments. She'll read them out and we will get through all of them by the end of this live. Any regular viewers, let us know that you're here. I know we had Darren already before we started the live, logging in on YouTube. Hello, good morning or good afternoon, Darren. So let us know who you are, where you're watching from, your business name, and a bit of information about you. Who have we got with us today, Beth?
It's nice to see some regular viewers. We've not been live for a couple of weeks, obviously, so it's nice to see those faces pop up again on, especially on Instagram. We've got Riggs Media Group with us. They've been with us before. We've got Frozen Robots, which is Richard. We love Richard. And then, yes, we've got Darren.
I just saw Richard walk outside.
Is he watching on his lunch break?
He's watching us on his lunch break.
Dedication.
Amazing. So before we get started, let's talk a little bit about the levers market and like what it is. So for those of you that are unaware, you've probably seen students walking around over the years in hoodies that look like this. Now, this is one of the biggest seasons I would say we talk about here at Stahls UK, because there are so many students leaving school every year, and it's not just high school students. People get them at primary school now. We've made little miniature ones for, like toddlers, universities. You can even use this template to cater for things like annual trips, annual ski trips, stuff like that, and customize it. It doesn't have to say levers on this template. Once you've got the 25 and you've got the name graphics, you can customize this to literally whatever you want. We have done a live and past videos on how to utilize this template, so make sure you check out that video if you're interested in how else you can make this artwork design work for you. But today we're talking about the trend report. So you've probably all seen the classic levers 25 design, but we've got 3 different variations of levers prints for you today. Now, for the sake of demonstrating, I am going to be using Ultracolor Max direct to film transfers today, because I only needed one of each to demonstrate it to you. So for short runs, that was the most cost-effective way for us to do this. However, if you are printing levers, I just want to touch on the transfer types I'd recommend. So if you're doing single color prints, I'd recommend Inktra. This is our new screen printed heat transfer. It is plastisol, Pantone matched, even though white on black tends to be like the classic look. It's clear carrier as well, which makes it super easy to align. And it's also a hot peel, which everybody loves. So real screen print, plastisol inks with a hot peel, and it's really easy to align. People have also been doing full color levers for the last couple of years, and it really is gaining in popularity, especially with different retail trends coming through to the print industry. And if you're doing full color, I would recommend Ultracolor Pro. Again, this is full color scalable, but it's a hot peel as well. Now, the reason I recommend both of these products is because they are scalable. So the minimum order is 10. However, the more sheets you order, the cheaper the price gets. Now, that's not the case with direct to film. It's one price for the meter sheet or the single one that you order, and that is the cost. So if you want to really make sure that your jobs are scalable and you're making the most profit, and the most effective way of doing it, to be honest with you, I would definitely recommend Inktra screen print transfers for single color jobs and Ultracolor Pro heat transfers for full color jobs. And that will give you the best price for your transfer as well. If anyone has questions on heat transfer types throughout this live, drop them in the comments and we'll cover that as we go. Do we have any comments so far, Beth?
Yeah, Darren says we've missed you guys from Firehouse Inc. in Topeka, Kansas. And then we've got Hamayan with us on LinkedIn as well, who says hello.
Nice. So let's get started into the 3 different styles that I want to talk about today. So the first one I want to talk about is just your classic levers print with the badge. Okay, so this one is full color because we wanted to do an example to show you single color and full color today. But we've just got the classic levers print, 25 on the back. If I bring it up close, you can see the names in this hoodie as well. And then on the front, we've got the school badge. Okay, so this is your classic, simple levers 25 print with the school branding on the front. So we're going to show you how to print this up today. The second one that we've got is my personal favorite for this year, and it's leaning more towards the stuff that we've been seeing in retail, like that Varsity sweatshirt hoodie style, that I'm unashamed to admit I actually have quite a few of these as well because I personally really like the style.
Of course you do.
Of course I do. It's very like sort of LA, isn't it? Like it's that kind of surfy vibe. But again, classic levers print on the back. And again, I'll show you a close-up of how good those, like the detail of those names are for the letters.
Free floating text, no reading required.
Exactly. However, on the front here, we've also got the school name, but we've done it in more of like a Varsity style font. Now, I have done a full-blown YouTube video on this on how to create like premium levers with this design. So if you want to learn how to like artwork it and like get it printed properly, pricing and all of that, that is available on YouTube as well, but we'll show you how to print this today. I just think this is something a bit different, you know, like everybody's so used to seeing the school badge on the front, but this is something that somebody would like purchase from a retail store and wear because they like the style of it. If you can take that style and that trend and put it into something that actually means something to the wearer and they can relate to, they are more likely to want it, they're more likely to wear it all the time. And this is a piece of clothing that the students are going to keep and they're going to remember that period in their life. So you want it to not only want them to want to wear it, but you want it to be high quality and premium and last as well, which is where the high quality transfers that we provide come in.
It's worth saying as well, this Varsity style, Molly, although it is very retail right now, these kind of like collegiate style letters, it is inspired obviously by like American colleges, and that trend has been coming over to the UK for a long time.
Yeah.
Teenagers want this, so give it to them.
They do. I mean, you see them walking around in it all the time, don't you? It's not like this is a new trend. I can't believe this is like the first year we've actually done this for levers. It seems a bit weird, doesn't it? And then this one is a slightly different way of doing it. So you've still got the names on the back, but it's a slightly different layout. So we don't have the levers 25 shape.
This is a trend that's starting to take off in the UK at the moment. It's almost like a music tour merch t-shirt style. And I think it's a bit of a simpler design as well for people who are starting to get into levers to artwork it themselves.
The thing I like about it as well is that it doesn't necessarily, I know that the levers 25 template is iconic and like students want that, but I really like the fact that it says levers 2025, but it is more subtle. So like you don't look at that and go, that's a levers hoodie, but to them, like as the years go by, they might not want to wear a 25 print, but they still want their levers hoodie. So I really like the result of this. But on the front, we've also got the school badge, but we've got a personalization here as well. So we're going to talk about how you can add students' initials onto here in a cost-effective way. So not obviously ordering 100 of each student's letters and then being stuck with the excess. But adding those little personal touches not only can make you more money, but it can help you secure that job, because if you're offering that and your competitor's not, the school is more than likely, even if they don't opt to have this option, they'll probably choose you because you're like the more knowledgeable decorator, if you like. So I think we should get started printing our first one, which is the full color. Now, what I'm going to do is show a couple of different placements for this. So I want to do the school badge on the left chest like we've seen on the current one, but I also want to show you how to put it on a sleeve as well, because that could be another option of another placement you can offer the schools. And again, offering people different placements and just like not the norm is what's going to make people want to choose you as their decorator. So we're going to be using the Fusion IQ heat press today. This is my personal favorite when we're doing anything regarding like levers or big back prints, like sports decorating, that kind of thing, because as you've just seen me do, you can pull this drawer right out and it gives you a complete heat-free workspace, or you can push this to the side and swing it out the way as well. For the sake of you being able to see what I'm doing today, I'm going to use the drawer. This press has threadability built in as standard as well. So when we talk about threadability, what I mean for those of you that are new to heat printing is you might see some people on Instagram or TikTok decorating shirts and t-shirts like that, where you can clearly see that they've got both layers of the fabric on the press. They're pressing over the seams as well, which is a very bad idea. Threadability allows you to open up your hoodie or your sweatshirt and load it onto the press like that. You can see the second layer of fabric just hanging underneath here, which is really beneficial, but also you can pull the edges off, which allows you to totally isolate the heat print area, and you can print perfectly. This sweatshirt is actually really soft. I'm like, oh, that seems a lot softer than normal.
Have you threaded the front on or the back on?
The front.
Perfect, because we've had a comment on TikTok that says, can you talk about left chest placement?
I can indeed. Now, obviously, my main piece of advice when it comes to left chest placement is get a Pro Place IQ, because A, who doesn't want a Pro Place IQ, and B, I'm lazy. And if I can have something project the placement for me and be like, that's where that needs to go, I will take that every single time. However, I'm very aware that most people have presses like the Fusion IQ, which is great. We love them. So let's talk about that for a second. So loading the t-shirt on, I always pull the t-shirt on right to the front so that the shoulder seams are sat here. Obviously, you don't want to press over the seam, because not only is that going to mark the, like, push a mark into the shirt, which is going to look ugly, but it's going to affect the pressure because this is raised above like the print surface area. So I'm going to do that, and then I'm going to pull it off. Like, I need to do this way. Sorry, guys. I need to put my back to you for a second, because otherwise it's going to be wonky. Pull it off so that you've got the seam hanging off the edge here. Same with all the shoulder seams. And then I'm going to give it a pre-press just for 5 seconds. Then once you've pre-pressed your garment, you can take your transfer. Now, a tip I always like to give people is to, for example, this is the badge, left chest, that we're doing. We're going to fold this in half, not the actual transfer, just like to mark the top bit so that we can see where the center is, because I cut this off of a gang sheet as well, so it's not like a perfect square around it. Then what you're going to want to do is take the seam of the collar and run that all the way down the front, and the base of the armpit, and run it in, and that is where your left chest placement should sit. So the top corner of this is where the center mark should go, and we're going to drag it down, and then I'm going to use the bottom of the sleeve as a marker, just like that. And that's where our left chest placement is going to go.
It's technically right chest
I was
placement.
literally just thinking that.
But
hang on a minute.
That's fine. You can do left or right. Mostly left, but some people do right.
I'll go left, because that's going to bug me now. It's because I'm doing it the wrong way round. I can't do it this way. Hang on. There we go. Okay, so using the collar and then using the base of the arm. There we go. And then we're just going to press it for 12 seconds.
So this person says bottom of sleeve to the top of the transfer, or the bottom of the transfer?
To the bottom of the transfer. If you will notice, if you do it to the top of the transfer, it's going to be like under your boob.
Too low.
Way under your boob. Pull that out. Peel that hot.
And for the person that asked that question, they also sent a question in earlier about what's the peel like for the DTF? You just saw Molly peel
that was the peel for the DTF. Really, really seamless. To be honest with you, the peels for all of our transfers are the same, especially the hot peel ones. They're my personal favourites. Ultracolor Pro is probably my favourite peel. Intra comes off before you even get to peel it. The amount of times I've lifted the press up, or the autoclam has popped open and the carrier's just come off with it, which I kind of get a bit upset about, because the peel is my favourite part. I like to do the peel, and I feel a bit cheated when the press does it for me, but that just goes to prove how good our hot peels are.
Perfect.
Any other questions?
I think that was it.
Cool. So there you have your left chest. I'll pull it off and show you the finished result in a minute. But first, I'm going to slightly pull this off and spin my sweatshirt around. This is another good thing. I can't do it back to front. This doesn't work. That's another good thing about the Fusion IQ. You don't have to take the garment off to rethread it. You can literally just spin it, especially with this quick slip protector I have on here. Makes it super easy. I'm just going to check that we're straight. Now, you guys might be noticing that I am also printing on a sweatshirt instead of a hoodie right now, and that is not unintentional. If you're printing levers, hoodies for people, how many students have you seen around, I don't know, like the last year or so, sweatshirts are definitely coming back in. I personally love a sweatshirt over a hoodie sometimes, depending on my mood. So I think being able to offer them both is a really good option. And in actual fact, I think sweatshirts are probably easier to print because you don't have to contend with pockets and hoods and all of that. So we'll show you how to print both today, but just for the sake of offering multiple garments. So we're just finding the center of our design again. And because we're not having to contend with a hood on this one, we can put this transfer a little bit higher up, not too high because you don't want it to be like right by the seam, but we're not having to worry about a hood covering half of it. So we can go a little bit higher. I would say probably like a hand print down from the neckline is my go-to. Just like that. And then again, 12 seconds and you're done. So Inktra applies for 10 seconds and Ultracolor Pro applies for 15 seconds. So you're still getting a super quick application regardless of which transfer you choose. And for those of you that were asking about the peel for DTF, just like that, there's nothing on that carrier, super clean, and you've got your finished results. So if I show you the sweatshirt, it's got a little bit of a mark on it, I think just because of the colour of the sweatshirt, but that will come out over time. So we've got our front left chest print there. Looks pretty good. Mm-hmm. And then we've got our full colour levers on the back, really just like that. Okay, so as I say, it doesn't have to be a hoodie, it can be a sweatshirt. This kind of looks like school uniform because it's burgundy as well, doesn't it?
It does, yeah.
So that's option number one, your classic levers, and don't forget that you can add colour into these as well. So you could of course do the classic print like that with the school badge on the front, make it all white maybe if that's their design. But if you have got a school, for example, that, I don't know, maybe their colour, my school colour was purple. What was your school colour, Beth?
Burgundy.
Was it? Yeah. So if you have a school, for example, that wanted their logo on their school colour, you could do white on a burgundy hoodie, or you could pick, I don't know, like a black hoodie and put a burgundy logo on it, something like that. Just be creative with what you're offering your customers, because that's definitely what's going to help secure you at that job.
Before we move from trend number one to trend number two, can you recommend a beginner press that's affordable for a small business that's starting up?
I can. Is the Max visible in this shot?
It's not, no.
Okay. So there are two heat presses I'd recommend for like complete startups. The first one being the Max Clam from Hotronics. This press is brilliant because not only is it clamshell, so it's space saving. Are you going to wheel one over?
I'm wheeling it in. Oh, one of the
wheels stuck.
The wheels stuck.
The wheels
I'm not wheeling it in.
We're not wheeling it in. That was a good attempt. Good attempt. So I'd recommend the Hotronics Max Clam. It's a clamshell heat press. I'll get Beth to put. Can you drop links in the YouTube description actually for people asking? Clamshell heat press, so it's space saving, which is really good. It comes in multiple sizes, but I would always recommend you go with the 40 by 50 one, just because you can change the bottom pattern, but you can't change the top. So if you get the biggest heating element on the top half, you're covered for literally any placement. The second one I would opt for would be the auto open, and the reason I'd choose this one over the Max Clam is because not only does it automatically open, but it has digital pressure readout. The Max Clam has time and temperature, but not pressure. It still has pressure adjustments, so you've got the dial, the pressure dial on the top here that you can twist based on how thick your garment is or like what you're printing, but you don't have that number readout. You can still tell by, we say it's pull it down with 2 fingers, and that's like medium pressure. But if you're like me and you're a bit of a control freak and you like to know that it's on like the exact right amount, then the auto open will save you. And what else was I going to say about the auto open? Oh yeah, it has dual timers as well. So the Max Clam has one timer, so you pull it down for the pre-press, you count 1, 2, 3, and then you knock it back up again. But the auto open has 2 built-in timers, so you pull it down, it counts to 3, pops open, or 5, whatever you set it to, and then it has its main timer as well, so you don't have to manually count or like keep changing the timers.
For True Colours, who asked that question on TikTok, if you want to head to the link in our bio, you'll be able to find those machines, or just pop us a DM, and then after this live I can send you the links direct.
Yeah, we do have a lot of options available, and if you're thinking of starting a business, we have bundles available as well, which I would definitely recommend purchasing, because not only do you get the heat press and transfer credit at a reduced price, or vinyl depending on which way you want to go, you also get accessories like the quick slip that's on here, which I'd really recommend, because not only does it protect your platen, but it makes it so much easier to slide garments on and off. There's no snagging, stuff like that. Interchangeable lower platens. All Hotronics machines, you can take out these lower platens and put small ones on. That includes the Hotronics Max Clam and the auto open. Yeah, there's a lot of different features for all of the presses, but like Beth said, we'll send you the links afterwards so you can have a proper look.
Okay, so first trend, full colour levers.
First trend was full colour levers, but I am actually going to go back to it for a second because I want to put the sleeve print on. So we've shown you how to do the left chest, but let's put a sleeve print on here and just show you guys how we're going to do that. Now, like I said, we have got interchangeable platens, but my personal preferred method for sleeve printing is the pillow. You guys have probably seen these before, heat print pillows that we use. Now, tip number one when using these, what we're going to do is essentially insert it into the sleeve so it isolates the print area. So we're not printing onto 2 layers. But as we were just talking about pressure and changing the dial based on the thickness of what's underneath here, this is a significantly thicker item than a t-shirt or a sweatshirt. So what I'm going to do is put it on the platen on its own first, load it back under, relieve the pressure a little bit, and then test where we're at. So that's currently on a 0, add a little bit more. That's reading a 1. I'm going to add a tiny bit more, and then I'm going to put my sweatshirt on. So rather than testing with the sweatshirt and creating, you know, having it under the heat for longer than it should be and creating marks and stuff like that, we just test it with the pillow first, set our pressure with the digital readout so we know exactly what it is. Then we can go ahead and use our sweatshirt. So how I'm going to go about doing this is take the pillow, I'm going to insert it into the sleeve, and I'm going to use the fold line as my like center point for this. So where the shoulder seam here continues down the arm, that is going to be our center point. I'm going to use the threadability of this machine and just tuck the rest of the garment underneath here like that, and then we can go ahead and print on this section of the arm. Okay, so we always want to make sure to like check our pressure again, just because it might be a little bit different now that we've added the garment in. See, that's still super light. That's on a 2. So we can bring that down a little bit more. Once you've pre-pressed it, same method with the transfer. I'm going to gently find the center point, put a little mark in it so I know exactly where I'm going. And then I'm going to place it onto the sleeve, making sure that the pillow is covered by the entire thing. Where's that seam? There it is.
Did your stomach just grumble?
It did just grumble.
It's lunchtime, guys.
It's nearly lunchtime and I'm hungry. Okay, so then we're going to go for 12 seconds. Oh, I upped that pressure a bit too much. We're on a 6, borderline 7. That's a bit high, but we'll go with it for the sake of 5 more seconds, guys.
Normally it flashes red when it's on high pressure, but it can't decide.
Yeah, it can't figure out which one it's on. That's how accurate the pressure readout on this is, guys. It's like ridiculously precise. Peel the transfer. You can remove the pillow. And just like that, you've got your sleeve print as well. So you can choose. You can have maybe like the left chest, or if the customer wants the sleeve print, then you've got the ability to give them the option. And all I did in order to successfully print on the sleeve was add this accessory in to this machine. So it's a no-brainer. I mean, these are like really not expensive at all. Okay, so that's method 1. Should we move on to number 2?
Mm-hmm. So full colour levers, and the number 2 is?
Let's do Varsity. Okay, let's do Varsity. So we're going to take this nice mint green hoodie today, and we're going to show you how to print. We'll do the back print first because I feel like that's quite an easy one, and then I want to show everyone about isolating around the pockets on the front of these hoodies. So again, threading, opening up our garment, making sure to isolate that area. You can see how quickly that went on there with the quick slip as well, it just glides on. Now, when placing the back print of levers with a hoodie, you want to make sure that when the hood comes down, it's not going to be covering the print too much. So it kind of would sit like that on a wearer. So I know that I roughly need to place it probably like a hand and a half down from the seam. Is that specific? Depends how big your hands are, doesn't it? Okay. Now, we obviously have not using a pillow now, so the pressure is going to be off. So I'm just going to bring it back down again. So hopefully with that, that's way too much. That's probably still way too much. That's definitely way too much. That's still high, but I'll adjust it in a second. Oh, it's flickering back to a 6. It's still unsure.
There we go.
Okay, pre-press the back print. There's a little mark on there. It's a bit of floof. Taking our levers print, and like Beth said, the free-floating text on this is insane of what transfers can do. Like, it just looks So good, and there's no weeding involved with this. I feel like I should not have to say this anymore because we're so beyond past like the levers vinyl era. But if you are still using vinyl for levers, please don't. You're wasting so much time.
You say that, but we met somebody in November at one of our events who was still doing weeding.
I know, and I don't understand.
Well, their
how.
excuse was they just love weeding. They find it therapeutic.
Okay, that's weird. I'm sorry, I do not relate.
Like, therapeutic activities don't pay the bills, my love.
They don't. Weed on your weekends if you want to, but when you're printing 30 levers hoodies, you don't want to be weeding that. Oh my God. Weeding is therapeutic until you have to weed names. Like, have you ever tried to weed a levers design? It's
Inevitably,
awful.
You're going to lose the eyes. You're going to miss the circles in the middle of the O's.
And also, you haven't just got to do one. You've got to do like 60 of them.
Yeah.
Okay. 12-second fuse, pull that off. And then if I remove this from the press and flop the hood back over, perfect placement, okay? I'm holding it up a little bit because obviously whoever wears it will have shoulders. It's not going to sit like that. It will sit over their shoulders. But yeah, that looks really, really good. I actually love this colour. I think it looks really cute. Okay, so that's the back, how to contend with the hood. Now we need to figure out the front. Now, if I hold this up, you guys can see there's a pillow, there's a pocket on here. So if I was to load this hoodie onto the press like this, which takes 5 seconds with the quick slip platen protector, if that, we have got the issue of this pocket down here. Now it's obviously a second layer of fabric, it's stitching and seams, it's raised, it's thicker, it's going to affect the pressure of the fuse we want to put on the main part. Even if I was to attempt to pull this off the bottom, we've then pulled the collar on. You don't want to crush the collar, it will just look horrific. So
can we just stress before you move
on
why we should not be pressing pockets? Because I see it on socials all the time.
Because, because if you press the pocket, firstly, it's going to crush part of it and it's going to look a bit naff. Especially if I've seen people before press pockets without like, hang on, if I can get this off.
Are you stuck on the lever?
Yeah, I've seen people press pockets like that as well, where they like put the front and they do that.
You get a crease as well because the waistband's elasticated.
Well, even if you take the waistband off of it, you're going to get a line in the back of the hoodie from this. It's the same as if you put a t-shirt on the press and press over the neckline. It comes through the back. Also, the pressure, the whole reason that we say our transfers last 75 plus washes is because we have tested them with specific application instructions. That's time, temperature, and pressure. Pressure can be affected or is affected very dramatically by not having a flat print surface. If you are printing on, you've only know how thick this pocket is.
So thick.
That's probably like a 1 to 2 point change on this machine. The pressure from this machine, because it's over center pressure, so it's ridiculously accurate and even, will come down and read based on the highest point on this garment, which will be the seam and the pocket and the double layers of fabric, not the area that you want your transfer to apply to. So your heat transfer will not be getting the correct pressure, which it might apply okay first time round. It might last a couple of washes, but inevitably over time, it won't last the 75 plus washes that you guarantee your customer it will, which is going to lead for it coming off, which your customer might come back to you and complain, they might not, they might just go somewhere else and find another supplier. So yeah, always just isolate your areas. It saves a lot of hassle. And also best practice, like who wants a squish pocket?
While you rethread that on for True Colours on TikTok, we do DTF gang sheets of 50 centimetres, 1 metre, and if you order by 8 a.m, they're dispatched the same day, so they will be with you the next day, yes.
Okay, so isolating pockets. Now, I mentioned before that Hotronix heat presses do have interchangeable platens, so that is an option, but seeing as we're on the pillow front today, I'm going to use this. So I've just put that on and I need to take it off again.
Sorry, my bad. I was
Habit.
like, while you thread it.
While you thread it.
You just
we're going to use the big pillow because essentially what this will do is when we put the pocket over here, it will push the seam down and even out the print area, which is exactly what we want. This is option A. Option B is remove this platen and put a smaller one on, allowing you to just isolate and have the pocket like hang off the platen. So 2 methods depending on what you want to do. There is a fairly recent YouTube video, 2 methods to print hoodies with zips and pockets, where I go through both of these in detail. So definitely check that out if you want a rundown of both. A tip for anyone using the bigger pillows I like to give is if you take off your quick slip protector and place your pillow on the platen like this, you can use this to like hold it in place. because the problem I found with this is I put the pillow down, then I attempt to put the hoodie on and it just kind of pulls it and it moves it a little bit.
Oh, so you do all of your back prints in one go, put the pillow under the quick slip, and then do all of your front prints in one go.
Correct. So then you do that and you can see now that that's not going anywhere. But when we put the like raised seam onto here, it will protect it. Now we need to do what we did before and check the pressure again. So I'm just going to lift it up a bit. That's currently on a 1 to 2. So I reckon that'll be okay once we put a hoodie under there. Now we can take our hoodie and you can see how easy this threading is going to be. Like this pillow is not moving. That was exactly the same as doing it without one. Make sure it's straight. And now when we press over this pocket, it's going to push this seam into here, which means it will be nice and even and our pressure is 100% what we want it to be, which is perfect. So I'm going to pre-press that and just double check our pressure again. So that's on a 3, which is a bit light. I was flicking between a 2 and a 3 actually. So I'm going to just make it a little bit heavier. Just like that. And then we're going to take, where is it? There. Yeah, I was looking for the back print.
We're doing Varsity. Are we doing Varsity?
Yeah, we are. I was looking for the 25 print. Then we're going to take our front print again. I've cut this out from a gang sheet, hence why it looks a little bit weird. And we're going to place it on the front. I tend to go 3 fingers down from the seam or the neckline with this. Really easy to do. Load it under and fuse it for 12 seconds.
That's better.
Like I said, Inktra is 10 seconds, Ultracolor Pro is 5 seconds. I would say Inktra is like my top product for levers because majority of them are going to be single color and it's the most cost effective and efficient way of printing because it's hot peel, scalable pricing.
You just said Ultracolor Pro was 5 seconds. 15.
15?
You said 5.
Oh, sorry guys. Pre-press is 5 seconds if that helps. And then you have got your front print.
Nice.
For your Varsity style.
That looks good on the sage.
It does, doesn't it? It looks really good. Now, we're going to do a sleeve print again on this one, but I think what I'm going to do is do the other one first because otherwise I'm going to keep taking the pillow out and it's going to annoy me. So, just quickly, while we're on this setup, let's do the final trend of the day. We're going to do personalization with like more of the music merch style print. So I'm going to print the back print with the pillow. There's nothing to say I can't do that as well. You can leave it on there. It doesn't matter. You just don't necessarily need it, but like it's not going to cause any harm. And again, make sure that when that hood is coming down, we're going to print so that it doesn't completely cover it.
It's a nice chunky hoodie though.
It is a really nice hoodie, isn't it? I like these ones.
They're called the cross neck, aren't they?
I believe so, yeah. Okay. So then taking our design, which is much more music merch, less in your face levers, if you like, but it still has the touch to the levers print at the bottom. I'm going to find my center point, place it down and make sure my hood isn't going to, that's a big hood.
Yeah.
Okay, make sure my hood isn't going to cover it. It's very difficult to heat print sideways. Have you guys ever tried it? It's actually really tricky. Although I don't want to be stood like this for the whole life because it's a bit rude. Okay, then we can peel this one off. There you go, like no issues at all having the pillow on there with that. Now we can do the front. So I'll just show you the back of this one really quick.
Yeah, the music merch is cool, but the point for trend number 3 is the personalization bit.
Yeah, I do think that the music merch could very well be trend number 4 if we were going to go down
that might
route.
be next year's trend when it really takes off.
And then we're going to do the front. So like I said, we've still got that pocket on here. So the pillow's already built in and ready to go. Make sure the neckline is off because we don't want to crush that. Still pre-pressing every time you press like a new area of the garment, whether it's the back, the front, the sleeve. Pre-press it to remove the creases, remove any moisture. That is a big part of what I was talking about earlier with the longevity of your transfers. We can't guarantee the 75 plus washes if you don't pre-press as well. Now, 2 transfers here. We've got the school badge as number 1, and then we've also got my, why did you do my initials?
Because it's you, isn't it?
Because it's me printing it. So we've got my initials, and apparently I go to Frost Lane School. Academy, sorry. Okay, so left chest for the badge, and then I'm going to do right for the initials. Find the center point on my transfer again, and then I'm going to use the top edge of the collar for the center and the base of the armpit for the bottom of the transfer. Quite happy with that. And then similar for this side as well. I just knocked that. This is actually quite tricky.
You can go in the middle of the badge, or you can line it up with the top of the badge. That, I think that tends.
I feel like. What did you
work.
do on this one? I feel
I
like
lined it up with the top of the badge. Yeah.
I feel like that makes more sense. Okay, and then you can press.
This is it's going to peel it for you.
It is. Do you know what else is good about this personalisation as well? Is that we're doing it without like a need for a second press because they're both going down at the same time. And then we'll talk in a minute about best ways to do personalisation because it's probably not Inktra.
It didn't peel it for you.
It didn't.
Yay.
I reckon if that was Inktra, it would have done.
That's good though, because we like the peel.
Okay, so, and there you have your personalised and your school print.
Branded, yeah.
Cool. So let's talk for a second about personalisation while we're here because I really like that cross neck actually, it looks really good. So personalisation for Leavers hoodies, what's the best print method to do this? Now, I would not recommend Inktra and I would not recommend Ultra Colour Pro unless you're going to have lots and lots of the same students' names because you don't want a repeat of, you know, however many 60 odd initials that you're not going to use again. So Ultra Colour, I just knocked my mic off. Ultra Colour Max DTF is a good way to do it because you can order like a meter gang sheet, put all of the initials for the class on there. You can match it with whatever colour you're doing your job for. Order that and then you just cut them out as you go. Alternatively, you could use vinyl if you wanted to. So like Premium Plus or Sports Film would also be a great one to do. It just comes down to like time and cost. If you have got the time and the equipment to cut out all of the letters, then great. If you don't and you want us to do it for you, then opt for Ultra Colour Max. That's always a good one to do. In terms of actually like keeping spares for people, because how many times have you guys done leavers jobs and then the school a week before they give them out has gone, oh, so-and-so wants one and they didn't get one before, or oh, so-and-so spilt something down there, can they have another one? Always make sure that you can just quickly do a few extra. So I'd recommend when you're ordering your back print, your school badge, whatever it might be, order a few extra just so that you know you've got them in your back pocket if they then come back to you and go, oh, we need some of those. You can order hoodies next day on Rallowise, on BTC, whatever it might be that you're ordering from. So that's not a problem at all. And then in terms of the personalisation, we can do, Ultra Colour Max has no minimum. So you can either just order like one or two of the ones that you're missing, or if you're using vinyl, just cut them out as you go. They would be my recommendations because you're always going to get someone that comes back and wants another one, wants an extra one. So yeah, just make sure you're prepared for that.
Well, that answers Jeff's question on TikTok, so thank you.
Okay, so this is the next print method. So kind of music merch style, but with personalisation. And also because you're taking the time and effort to add initials onto here, you can charge more for these as well because they're customised. Now, let's just jump back to this one for a second. Oh, I've lost my, it's here. I was like, that's not the right sleeve print. So the Varsity style one, I'm going to jump back and do the sleeve. So we've got the Varsity style print on the front, but we're also going to add this cute little sleeve print onto the side here. So I'm going to remove the big pillow from the press, just like that. And then I'm going to test for pressure again with the small one. Now, even though these are both the same, like pillows from the same family, if you were, because they're different sizes, they have different surface areas and their pressures are slightly different. So that's, yeah, too light now. Let's bring it down a bit. Perfect. That's now on a 3. Taking our hoodie. I think we'll do it on this side.
I always think opposite to the left chest, but you haven't got a left chest.
Haven't got left chest, it's a front print on this one, so we could do either. Place the pillow in, and again, using the seam, the shoulder seam of the hoodie all the way down the arm as your center point, just like that. Making the most of the threadability here, I'm going to tuck it underneath. Make sure it's flat, and then we're going to give the arm a pre-press. So one thing I love about the Fusion IQ for doing sleeve prints, if this was the auto open, it would be physically like falling off the side, and it makes it so much easier.
We do actually sell press arms, don't we? They clip onto the caddy stand, and they have like...
I don't think we do those anymore.
Flat trays.
Got discontinued.
Sad times.
Okay, placing that on. Again, find the center point and then lock it in. That's all it takes. So 3 print placements on a hoodie as well. Like you can charge per location. Some schools literally just get the Levers 25 on the back without the school print, but I would encourage you to encourage them to get the badge print, not only because you can charge more for it and make more money, but also like you need to know what school it was you left, if that makes sense. And then, yeah, the sleeve prints, the initials, all of that is just an extra. But being the printer that offers that is going to set you apart from competitors. Where's this pillow gone? And there you have, it's upside down, your sleeve print on the other side. So Varsity style, school logo on the front, Levers 25 print on the back, sleeve print to match. So that's pretty much the 3 trends I wanted to run you guys through today. You've got your classic Levers 25, you've got the full colour option for it, you've got Varsity, and you've got Personalised. And as an added bonus, you've got a music merch kind of inspired one as well. There are so many different ways that you can offer Levers to your customers, so many different print methods you can use. Like I said, you've got inkjet screen print transfers, which are Pantone matched, and they're probably my go-to for Levers. You have got Ultra Colour Pro as well if you want a full colour, and Ultra Colour Max DTF transfers for last minute orders if you've got a couple of replacements that they want, personalisation, that kind of thing. And vinyl, of course, is not an option for the big 25 print, but could be for personalisation. Don't get those two confused, please. Do we have any questions following all of that?
No, everyone's just taking it. Oh, tell a lie. Claire says, what's the heat press that you're using right now?
So the heat press I've been using today is called the Hotronics Fusion IQ. It's my personal favourite because you can swing and draw it. So I've been using it like this today, but you can also push this to the side. I've got it locked in at the moment so that it doesn't move, but it does swing away. It has built-in threadability, which is one of my personal favourite features about it. So all the way under here, as you've probably seen me do on the live, you can thread your garments on rather than just like putting both layers on top. It has adjustable pressure as well, along with pressure readout. This IQ control screen is probably one of the main reasons people go for this machine, aside from like the physical functionality of it. It can load all of your recipes in here. So for example, I've been using Ultra Colour Max today. If I hit the library, I've literally got like 50 different settings in here for different vinyls and transfers. You can customize it as well for different jackets. So say, for example, you have, I don't know, like a denim jacket or a hoodie that's a particularly bad color and it scorches, and you come up with a specific recipe for fusing it with like a grip flex cover or a thicker cover sheet, and you need to adjust the temperature for it. You can save it as like that specific garment as well. So yeah, literally anything. We call it the brain because it's just super, super smart. It has digital temperature, pressure, and time readout. It has got dual timers. You can add up to 4, but to be honest, you don't really need more than 2. Yeah, I think that's kind of everything.
Mark says, I love this. So helpful. Thank you.
I'm very glad you found it helpful. Thank you. I have missed doing lives, guys. I'm glad that we're back. I'm not sure if we're doing one next week or not, but we will be, oh no, because it's bank holiday next week, isn't it? So the week after that, potentially, we haven't confirmed that yet. But yeah, we'll be back in a couple of weeks regardless with another live.
Did you just quickly want to tell people, while we're on the subject of Levers, about the template? Because I've dropped it in the comments on YouTube.
Yes, I can do that. So we do offer, where's the black one? So at Stahls UK, obviously, we want to make your lives easier and we want to make it as simple as possible for you to get started with Levers. So we actually have this template right here as a free artwork download. So all you have to do is fill in the form. It's completely free. Just fill in your name and email address and we'll email you the template. You can open it in like Illustrator or like another file. And all you have to do is then paste the student names in and you've got your template done. We also have got artwork tutorials on how to format the text, because if the school sends you like a Word document with a list of names, you need to get them like in the right order and next to each other and formatted correctly. There's a really quick hack of how to do this, which Andy's covered, rather than like manually going in and deleting all the spaces and everything. So that is free to download if you head to custom.stahls.co.uk or head to YouTube. Beth's put it in the comments. If you go to easy view, custom.stahls.co.uk, there is the nav bar and Levers is an option on there. You just hit the Levers page and scroll down. There's a download for this. Artwork tutorial on there. There are lots more lives and videos that we've done on Levers. So how to make money, how to price it, how to order them as well, how to order your heat transfers online. So yeah, we've covered pretty much all bases for you.
We've got some lovely comments coming in now.
On,
LV on TikTok says, this has been so helpful. Thank you.
You're so welcome.
Boyd on YouTube says, love it. And then Sorry, Marcia. Marcia said, it's Marcia, but it came up as Mark for some reason, so it was missing the IA. I'm very sorry, Marcia. You know we love you.
Oh, that's funny. Hello, Marcia. How are you? It's good to have you with us. I'm so glad that everyone's found this useful.
Yeah, that's everything for today.
Okay, so in terms of what we have coming up next, we have got a very exciting announcement coming on Monday. It is going to be something within this space. It might be an event. We'll just give everyone a little exclusive on the live. So if you guys want to know, I'm not going to tell you what it is or who it's with, but we are announcing our next in-person event on Monday. So if you make sure you sign up for our newsletter, make sure you subscribe on YouTube, make sure you follow us on socials because we're going to be putting it absolutely everywhere. And we will be having people here in the Innovation Centre for another event towards the end of May. So if you want to come in, you want to print for yourselves, you want to come and use the machines, just make sure you're attending that event. So keep your eyes on socials. We haven't got another live scheduled yet, but we will be doing one in the next week or two. So again, keep an eye on the YouTube schedule. And other than that, that's it for today. We'll see you guys next week.